Hello everyone, this is Clyde and today I want to show you guys something a bit different. Yesterday was a very big day. Paranoia published his modification to the game. Let's call it Paranoia's Mordheim modification. And today I want to test it. I want to look at it. This is going to be a very first look. I don't know much about the mod except it brings some balance changes. So we will take a closer look to this. I have already this mod downloaded. I deleted all my warbands. This mod doesn't work with existing save files. So I have decided to delete all of them. We will start a new warband here. What else? And this mod doesn't support any other language than English. It works only with English language, with English version of the game. So please don't forget about this. Okay. Uh, without Man, that was loud. Let's pick a warband level 5, so we could have access to all
So,
characters
you've
that we
decided
want.
to brave the city of the damned in search of gold and glory. There's no shortage of those who've tried before you. If you look hard enough, you'll find their bones littering the ruins. Mordheim doesn't...
Alright. I believe it's 4 years since I have listened to this dialogue last time. Let's see, we have already a captain. Let's see. I don't remember all the skills from the vanilla game. I don't remember as well all the statistics allocation. Okay, let's go with okay. I don't remember actually if it had a parry chance bypass, perhaps. Um, I almost never use this. Alright, Swift Charge. And dodge and parry chance bypass. What? I could swear to God it was previously a melee range, melee resistance debuff. Now it's ranged resistance? Alright. Holy moly. Alright, this looks like quite a lot of changes. Kidney strike. Increased duration when master version. Increases the bonuses. Well, that's a big changes to the skill, but it's still going to be a trash. I'm sorry to tell this. I mean, in PvE it might be useful, but what it does, it increases the chance. If it had an option to decrease the cost or remove the cost at all, but we have other skills from this. No. Trash. Still trash. Okay, doesn't look like this one got changed. This one is changed. I am not sure. Okay, magic resistance increased? Yeah, it looks like. Um, let's try to help ourselves with Pyrospace side. Sorry guys, I don't have all the skills in my head. Mighty Charge. Let's start from this one. 120. Okay, this one looks like it's unchanged. Alright, so when compared to the Pyrospace, looks like Paranoia decreased chance to hit. Chance to hit penalty. He decreased chance to hit penalty. So a small change here. Okay, let's see. Swift charge. I'm not going to use swift charge no matter what. I'm not going to check every single ability. Kidney strike. I am pretty much sure it was a melee resistance, the buffer. Yes, indeed. 15 and 30%. Now it's 20 in basic version and 30, and it lasts 2 turns. Mastered version lasts 3 turns. This is actually a nice change. I mean, I'm not sure about the part that swapped ranged resistance with melee resistance, but increasing the duration is really cool. For example, in vanilla version of the game, it was completely not worth to take a mastered version of the skill. Like this game was so badly programmed with so many aspects of it. Who was beta testing this game actually? Alright, this is interesting. It can be actually useful for Mercenarios Warband. Holy crap, 20%. Not stackable, that's okay. Yeah, vanilla version wasn't stackable as well. The debuff is so big that I think it shouldn't be stackable. So this is good. Okay, 25 minus 20. I completely forgot the numbers behind. Yeah, 50. I thought so. I could swear that initially strong blow gave 50 increased damage. I'm not sure why Paranoia decided to cut this down. Yeah, it always had um, it always lowered the parry chance, so this hasn't changed. But this one, okay, so penalty and damage increased to 50. So if you want to have all damage from the skill, you need to have a mastered version of it. I have mixed feelings about this. Can be good, can be bad. I really don't. I am not sure. I somehow I cannot imagine myself using a mastered strong blow. I assume that paranoia. Yeah, we don't have more slots and things like this. I don't expect Paranoia increased number of skill points, and leader and heroes are always extremely starving when it comes to skill points. Pardon me. So yeah, I mean this skill was nerfed and buffed at the same time. Basic version was nerfed. Mastered version is buffed. Or actually, yeah, or actually, no. Basic version was nerfed. Mastered version is actually unchanged because Master Strong Blow previously also gave damage increase to 50% and parry penalty 50%. Yep. All right, so we have big changes here. Now it was 75 and 150, I believe. Melee resistance reduced by 20 and by 10 mastered version. I know that it reduces melee resistance by 10. I've never used this skill in basic version, but melee damage was higher. It was 150 in mastered version. Let's check with Pyrospace what Pyro is saying here. No, I was wrong. Sorry, guys. My bad. I don't know why I always thought it's 150. Perhaps I am so sure that Paranoia changed everything that I'm looking for changes that do not exist. So yeah, this skill looks like it's untouched. 9 and 15 strength. That's how it was previously. Melee resistance 20 and 10. Yep. Looks like it is what it used to be, and same goes to here. 40-20 to hit chance. Let's see. I will never use overpowered as well. 40-20. Yeah, it's the same skill. I've never been using this because of very high offensive points cost. 4 red pills for the skill that doesn't guarantee you to work. You can still miss. I think it's too much. But I saw people using this, so yeah. This one is trash anyway. This one is not being used. However, I could see some potential for Doomweaver. He often causes open wounds to himself when he is casting, so could be used by a Doomweaver. But other than that, probably another trash skill. Okay, Frenzy. 15, 15, 40, 40. Let's see. I think it was different value. Yeah, it's 15, 5, 30 to 10. So Frenzy is buffed by Paranoia. It has the same cost of free blue pills. Paranoia buffed magic resistance. 15 in basic version, 30 in mastered version. So it's simply magic resistance is equal to damage increase. Very interesting change. I'd say quite interesting one. I always felt that magic resistance buff is too low, especially in the basic version of the skill. Not sure if 15 if it should be 15 and 30. Perhaps 10 and 20 could be enough. Yeah, perhaps 10 at 20 would make it. Because I am scared that with if our skills will go this way, I don't want to make casters, offensive casters, unavailable. I want them to be useful, to have their place on the battlefield. So we cannot go too far with the magic resistance. So I like the idea of increasing it, but perhaps it shouldn't be increased so much. 10 as basic, 20 as mastery. This would be much more balanced in my opinion. Ignore pain, a very strong skill. Wow! Mastered version lasts 3 turns, basic version lasts 2 turns. Now, increases armor absorption by 10. Holy moly! Let's see. I am pretty much sure that Paranoia increases the duration, increase armor by 10 for 1 turn, cost reduction. Alright. Alright. Very cool skill. Well, okay. This skill used to be quite useful previously, especially I like this skill together with my Wolf Priest. This with guard stance and in general heavy armor and armor proficient gave them gave any Wolf Priest very solid defensive layout. Holy crap, so it's still 5% in basic version. It removes only 10 wands. Previously it removed 20 wands, and it lasts 2 turns. Oh man, this is really big one. I like the changes. Paranoia moved 10 wands from mastery to basic one. So now you hurt yourself, but with a very little cost. Twice little. It lasts 2 turns. And removes 10 wands at the beginning of next turn. I want to make a wolf priest, and try this one. Perhaps I could use a guard stance also. Basic guard stance, basic ignore rush, ignore pain, and we have out of nowhere extra 10 armor with 55 armor from armor proficient, purple heavy armor and helmet. We can get 65 armor, and with Wolf Priest spell we can get extra equivalent of extra 20 armor, so we have around 60, 70, 85 armor. Quite insane. Alright, I like this change. Adrenaline Rush, one of the most important skills in the game. Nothing has changed here, and it's good because it's a very good skill. It's widely used by players. Not really any reason to change anything here at the beginning. Alright. This one also looks unchanged. Fine. Yeah, I don't see anyone taking mastered version of Quick Lab. If it gave you like you you get a free dodge attempt or I don't know what. I mean, no, it's no way to make this ability useful. Not in PvP. It can be useful in PvE if you have a dedicated Wordstone runner, but not in PvP. it's waste of points. I mean, 1 point sometimes, perhaps, but mastered version to lower the penalty from 15 to 5. Mastered version gives you like 10% higher chance. That's a trash. That's garbage. Probably Paranoia didn't change anything here. Yes, indeed. Looks like the skill is untouched. All right, swift jump. Actually, I like this skill. I put this skill on dedicated Wheelstone runner, or generally looter, the guy who's looting the map. Um, what else? Night runners work really well with this skill. Swift jump and wall runner makes a nice combo with night runners. No strategy points, but okay. Is do I see this properly? Did Paranoia make penalty higher, or I am wrong? Perhaps. Let's check. Pyro, what you say, Paul? Paul. Swift jump. Okay. Yeah, Paranoia heavily increased the penalty. I am not sure about this change. Mm, okay, so this is a static minus 15 chance in vanilla game. So the penalty is static, it doesn't change, and it's minus 15. Always. In Paranoia's mod, it's minus 45 per 3 meters jumped. So, first meter, second meter, third meter is minus 35 chance. Fourth meter, so when we are jumping down from a very high buildings or passages or something, 4 meter, 5 meter and more, it's 90% penalty. That's huge. That's huge. Perhaps the idea behind was to use this skill to swift jump with from the very small high. I'm not sure about this one. It is interesting. I will try to take this skill on one of my guys. But yeah, I don't know what to think. Alright. Mastered version, of course, is much better. So in here, there is not much difference. You can see how old skill looks like and how new skill looks like. Simply, a penalty in a basic version is much higher. Still, I don't think it's worth to take mastered version. Okay, interesting. Like I said, I am not sure if I like it, but I cannot say I dislike it. I will need to take a closer look. I can see the reasoning behind this. It kinda makes sense. Alright. Movement range for two. What? Hey, paranoia. So, vanilla version increases ranged resistance by 20%, but reduces movement range by 2 meters. And here, okay, it's duration 2 turns. Okay, sorry, I haven't noticed this at first. So, this skill lasts 2 turns. It increases range resistance by 20%, and it reduces movement range by 1 meter for 2 turns. Alright. Previously, the skill lasted 1 turn and reduced movement range by 2 meters for this 1 turn. So actually, I would say this is a buff. And I am not, it's not a meme here. I seriously think that this is a buff. However, you will need to use it carefully. In the second turn, you don't want to run out of the blue pills, so yeah, you will think twice before you use this now. Very, very cool skill. I like it. I like this change. Should make the game a little more complicated, a little more tactical. Mastered version is simply increasing the duration and increasing the value. However, 20% of increased ranged resistance is a lot. That's already a very nice buff. 20% is really a lot. It's the same as it was in vanilla game. Alright. And my favorite wall runner, and I already see it was changed. Let's check with Pyro. I believe it was minus 15. Let's make sure if... Yeah, it was minus 15. Sorry guys for this little break. Where we were... Okay, wall runner, yeah. So, in vanilla, it was minus 15, so it was manageable. You didn't have to invest heavily into agility. I will remind you guys that agility, as you can see, is needed for all kind of climb, leap and jump action. So the more agility, the higher chance of succeeding with this kind of actions. And yeah, so in vanilla, I've never heavily invested here unless I wanted for some other reason. For example, I wanted to have a high dodge chance. Now, if I will want this skill once again, you don't want mastered version because it costs simply too much skill points. So, with the basic version, you will want to put some extra points into agility. It requires 6 agility, but actually you will want to have more. Why am I talking even about this skill? Because this is a great skill for shooters. This can be a life-saving or even game-changing skill. This skill can be a wall between living and dying. We are so often in the situation when we run out of the last blue pill, when we really, really need it. This is a very strong skill. I feel it's underappreciated by players, but in my opinion, it's almost a must-have on any kind of shooter. It's not only about running away and finding a safe place, but it's also about finding a better position to shoot from higher ground. Shooters have a better chance to hit. So yeah, this is a big nerf actually. over here. Though I can understand why. Perhaps the vanilla version was too strong. As I said, I have never felt that I need to invest any more points into agility beyond required 6 points of agility. You need to have 6 to be even able to train the skill. But I've never bothered of investing more points into agility than 6, unless I wanted the guy to be able to dodge. So yeah, now I feel 3-4 extra points should be invested here. Okay, prowl. Take a plus 50 damage with minus 10 chance to hit. Also allows. If it only had 2 dodge attempts, this would be amazing. Ambush hit chance increased to plus 5 and a dodge chance to 15. OP cost reduced by 1. So, mastered version, like previously, does absolutely nothing here. Let's just make a quick look at vanilla version of this skill. Prowl. Take minus 10 to hit. Actually, I don't see any changes here, so probably Paranoia left it as it was, which is fine because it was a very good skill. It wasn't very popular, but not because it was bad. It was simply you are always or almost always starving with skill points, and there was not enough skill point to take the skill usually. There were more important things to take, but it doesn't mean it was a bad skill. It never was a bad skill. And I am using this skill here and there. So I don't mind leaving this skill as it was. Let's check the numbers once again. 50 minus 10 plus 5. Yeah, it looks like nothing changed here. Sidestep, very important, very good skill. No changes here, and it was expected. This skill never required any rework. It really works fine in this uh, in its current shape. Leadership skills. Threaten. I was never a fan of this skill. I am not sure if I've used this even once. So, but yeah, let's see. Target must be engaged with the user, have enough of to perform a leadership executive with minus 5 penalty. If the target fails, it is forced to use 1 offense point to attack the user. What a useless skill. I mean, seriously. Threaten. Though, why it's on top? Oh, because I can afford this, right? Alright. Threaten. Attack. 10 and 25. So Paranoia decreased leadership penalty in basic version from 10 to 5 and increased a penalty in mastered version from 25 up to 35. Let me check the discords. Okay. I will leave Discord right now because it's too disturbing, I have to say. Okay. It was a trash skill. It is a trash skill. no way it could change. Guidance only useful actually when used with an ogre, rat ogre, when you are Skaven. Skaven Ashen Sorcerers have this skill by default, it's basic version, so yeah. I don't see any other use of it. If you get a very nasty condition like stupidity, for example, simply it's better to get rid of this character and find another one, find him a replacement. Prevents the effect of mental condition, 50 meters, 1 turn. Let's see what Pyro is saying. 2 turns, 50 meter. Okay, so duration is lowered from 2 turns. I mean, one thing. Sometimes Pyrospace also has some untrue information, so right now I am heavily relying on Pyrospace information provided, but there are some small mistakes as well. I don't remember which one these are, but if something vary from what I'm saying here, I apologize. I don't remember all the skills. Okay, so duration is 1 turn. According to Pyro, duration used to be 2 turns. Right, 15. Okay, so if Pyro is not wrong, this skill was nerfed by Paranoia. It lasts only 1 turn right now, but I believe that it was 1 turn. It used to be 1 turn in vanilla game. I cannot open a second game client and check it actually, but I am really, I don't know. Well, still, this skill is almost useless. Well, like I said, it's only useful when you are playing as Skaven and using an ogre, and you don't use helmet enchantment. Because a purple helmet enchantment can make an ogre completely resistant to the stupidity. Courage. I don't even know if I want to analyze every skill, because this is a lot of skills, and we are right now we are in the active skill tree. We haven't even touched passives. Courage. Nothing big. I don't know if it has changed. Still a trash. Still a trash, mostly because of the cost. 3 blue pills, not worth. Basic version lasts only 1 turn, not worth. Mastered version, 3 turns, perhaps. There's very extremely situational skill. All alone is not such a big deal in PvP, to be honest. So, another trust skill, Taunt. Increase the cost of flee delay. Not used heavily in PvP and have absolutely no use in PvE. However, it's not that bad skill. And mastered version is really strong here. The basic version is even strong. Duration 2 turns, so Paranoia increased duration here. Nice skill. I mean, I can see this to be used. However, once again, is extremely situational. So you will not have any use of it 80-90% of the time. So is it worth? Probably not. Coordination. Allies with 5 meters radius. Increase initiative by 10 for 2 turns. For 2 turns. Yeah, not a fan of this one. 5 meter radius is not so big. 2 turns duration is okayish. Initiative 10 is not that amazing. Perhaps mastered version could be strong. The duration 3 turns. So once again, uh, in general, vanilla game has not a single skill or spell lasting longer than 2 turns. So whenever I see 3 turns, I know that Paranoia changed this one. Okay, let's actually check it out and compare this with the Pyro. Coordination, increase initiative by 5. Alright, so Paranoia increases raw numbers. He increases the initiative value from 5 up to 10 in basic version and from 10 up to 20 in mastered version. And he increases the duration. So it's not such a bad skill as it used to be. And 3 blue pills cost. Let's make a quick comparison. What the hell was this? Stimulus, alright. So this is a single ally. Duration. Okay, so this one works with only single guy. It's not AOE skill. It has nice range, 15 meters and in basic version and 30 meters in mastered. Lasts 3 turns, so the same duration and the higher buff. It makes sense actually. If you want to speed up heavily a single unit, you can use stimulus. If you want to speed up a little bit bunch of your units, you can use coordination. Increases 10 and 20. No, it's 10 and 20 here. So the value is the same. I think it's a bit of mistake because this will make stimulus actually not stimulus coordination. This mod is making coordination much better choice than stimulus. It makes stimulus obsolete. Stimulus was a skill to go with previously. Right now, I mean, I am not a fan of killing popular skills and making unpopular skills viable. I want to be all of the skills viable. Of course, it's impossible, but we should try to get to this. So yeah, duration is the same as stimulus. 2 turn and 3 turn, right? Stimulus 2 turn, 3 turn, right. It costs 3 blue pills here, and it costs 3 blue pills here. The value is 10 and 20. 10 and 20. Initiative plus 20. This needs change. This needs to be changed. Best idea would be to increase simply basic initiative to 20 and master's initiative to 30. I know it has much better range, but it is a single ally, while coordination can be used on a bunch of your guys. You can speed up 5 guys even. And usually you want to move with your guys in a group. Usually it's not a good idea to divide a warband. Well, even if you can use this skill on 2 of your guys, it's still better than stimulus. And if you use both skills twice, you can speed up maximum 2 guys with stimulus, and with coordination you can, well, on paper you can speed up almost entire warband. So yeah, coordination is too strong when compared to stimulus. So this should be fixed, I believe. This is the very first balance change that I don't really like. Okay, let's go. Let's move on. IS 5 increase dodge and parry by 10 for 2 turns. So once again, Paranoia increased the duration, which is a very good idea in here, I believe. Let's see if raw values has changed in this case. Leadership, and it was hold ground. 5 and 10. Yes, I thought so. I thought so. I wonder I wonder why Paranoia didn't increase this one to 20. Perhaps this would be too much. The thing is, the best melee defensive layout is melee resistance. Yeah, that's the statistic. The more in here, the better. The more your character will be able to stand in melee combat. Parry and dodge are very good skills, but it's not so difficult to get high values of them. I mean, this skill is not bad. Oh, and this hit decreases. Does Did Paranoia decrease a cost? Let's see. No, it's free according to Pyro, and it's free here. So okay. 5-meter radius. So you must to have your guys standing very close to each other. I used to use this skill in PvE, and it wasn't worth, to be honest. I mean, what do you want for your leader? You want him, for example, this guy. You want him simply to get into the melee and to chop your opponents and survive. So he will use 3 blue pills, 3 blue pills to use insult, and 4 blue pills to get into the mastered web of steel. So he needs exhaustion if he wants to use this one. And cannot be used while engaged. But you need to move very close to your melee. You need to move very close to the fight because it has only 5 meters radius. So it was not the best skill previously, and despite increasing these values, it's still not the best skill. It doesn't appeal to me. It's not appealing. I mean, duration 3 turns. Okay, we have duration 3 turns, which we had not before. I believe yes. Duration in vanilla is always 1 turn. So I mean, perhaps this duration is worth to consider the skill. I mean, the basic one gives a very solid buff, 10% to dodge and parry, and it lasts 2 turns. So it's actually it's not that bad. Still, I have the feeling there are more important skills. To be honest, I would prefer, if I had to choose, I would prefer coordination. 20 initiative for a couple of your guys, lasting 3 turns. This is broken as fuck. This everyone in PvP will want to use this. Coordination, exhaustion, and you can speed up every fucking one except yourself. So if you are running 10 people in your warband, you can speed up. Not always, of course, but you are able to speed up 9 out of 10 in 1 turn with the buff which lasts 3 fucking turns. When you compare this to hold ground, it's like hold ground is nothing. I mean, it's okayish. With this duration, it's okayish, but coordination is simply too good right now. It's so strong. On paper, of course. Insult 10 for 2 turns. And duration 3 turns. Oh man. Uh, Players, even if they go, even if they are using a heavy melee warbands, they often ignore the skill insult. Well, with these changes, it's not going to be the case anymore. Insult right now, it's not broken, but it's amazing. I mean, already I can say that it got nerfed because it used to be 20 here, but it has a duration tag of 3 fucking turns, which means that you can use duration, you can use insult in the first turn of combat, then you can use a stance, defensive stance, sidestep. In the very second turn of the combat, you can use any, pardon me, any other kind of the skill and your defensive stance. You don't need to insult if you are engaged with the same target. You can use, for example, a taunt. Previously, we had not enough blue pills because once again, insult is must have for every melee leader or hero. You don't, if you are playing with a melee hero or leader without insult, then uh, you will not have a good time in PvP in this game. People like to build very tanky characters. People tend to increase melee resistance like crazy. So insult is highly, well, it's not recommended. It's freaking required. So yeah, small nerf, -5 from the basic version, but duration from 1 turn into 3 turns. This is actually, this skill got buffed as fuck. Because now it opens the space to use another blue pill skill. Holy moly. You can use more consumables with this. There are consumables, some consumables require you to use offensive points, red pills. Some consumables require to use blue pills. Holy shit. This is a big buff. This is insult and coordination are much stronger right now. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, this one is too strong in my opinion, or perhaps this one is too weak. Can be this way. This one is fine. It's perfect. It's stronger. I don't feel it's overpowered. I mean, I need to test this first. I need to play a little bit with this skill to be able to judge properly. But at the very first look, it seems that this skill is really strong now, and that players will start picking this one, and they will try to get mastered version. Basic version, well, I don't get it. So duration is here. Okay, so this is a mistake probably, one of small bugs. We will make a screenshot. So yes, here is duration 1 turn, but reduces melee resistance by 10% for 2 turns. So even basic version, I believe this one is true, and this one needs to be fixed. I think Paranoia simply overlooked this, but I'm sure he will fix this thing very soon. Anyway, so I believe this one is true. So even in basic version, it lasts 2 turns. Man, actually, mastered version is not that much needed. I'm not sure if duration of 3 turns is required. So is this so tempting to have 3 turns instead of 2 turns? And this value is lowered. I think we could have a 20 here. It used to be 20. I know that Paranoia added duration. It had no duration before. Duration was always 1 turn in vanilla game. And it was 10 and 20. So I'm not sure. 15. I think that Paranoia could leave it as it was. Duration 3 turns and penalty increases to 20%. Anyway, basic or mastered, because of duration tag, the skill seems very, very attractive. Okay, intimidate, leadership test with plus 25 bonus on fire source of free from the... Okay, so actually it looks like only mastered version will work reliably. But this is the same as it used to be. So yeah, I've never been using the skill, so I had to check on Pyrospace, and it looks like nothing changed here. Intimidate order immediately grants a free attack against a random hit chance of the end range. Looks like it's the same skill. It worked well in vanilla game, so once again, there is no reason to change it. Immediately grants targets who would never retreat. Looks like no changes here. 2 turns, and unfortunately, we already seen the pattern in the skills, in the new skills. I mean the new pattern among the skills. So Paranoia usually added duration 2 turns in the basic version of the skill and 3 turns in the mastered. It's not the case in here. In here we have simply a raw damage increase. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. This damage increase is too low. Let's check. I think it was higher in vanilla game. Let's make sure. Yes, it was 20 in vanilla and 20. I mean, it was 10 in basic version, 20 in mastered in vanilla game. Now it's 5 and 20. So mastered version is the same as it was. Basic version got nerfed. However, now we have added duration of 2 turns. Of course, I believe melee damage increased to 20% and for 2 turns works here as well. But plus 5 damage? Do you know what is plus 5 damage? It's like 2, 3 damage? 5 damage at best? It's AoE, so it works with couple of characters. Mostly you will use this on henchmen and probably with some luck on 1 or 2 heroes. And it will increase damage of any unit by 1, 2, 5. This is, I mean, not even 5, 1, 2, 3. In this, somewhere in this area, between 1 to 3, 5 if you are a high damage dealing marauder or something like this. 5 is nothing. This is nothing. This is like 0 actually. It's nothing. So you do nothing for 2 turns using 4 blue pills. This is a trash. This is a trash. This one is okay. I mean, 20% is still it's not amazing, but it's okay. It's AoE, so it cannot has high value. Yeah, I have nothing. I have no problem with the mastered version. The cost is very high, as it used to be. Because of the duration, the skill in the mastered version is stronger. It lasts 2 turns, which is very cool. But this 2 turns for nothing, I don't see any reason why anyone would like to take a basic version of the skill. I think the Paranoia needs to bring back 10%. Even this 10% is nothing. Like I said, 20% increased damage is not much. It's barely noticeable. It's noticeable, but it's very so-so. The cool thing about the skill is that it has an area of effect and it lasts two turns, and that's the only reason why you would like to take it. And this is a good example of skill working with insult. So you use insult. Let's say you have basic insult event. In the very first turn, you are in the combat. You use insult and you go and you enter your move with let's say web of steel stance. You need to enter a defensive stance. I mean, not defensive stance sensu stricte, any kind of defensive stance, right? So defensive stance, web of steel, or sidestep. Let's say it's web of steel. So insult web of steel in the first turn. Now, since insult lasts 2 turns, and we assume that you haven't killed your opponent yet, you can use War Cry in the next turn, and once again a web of steel. Now, you can, in the third turn, use Insult against next opponent. You still have Warcry buff working. It's still because it has duration of two turns now. So you are still under the buff. So yeah, Insult, Warcry. Insult, Warcry. Insult, Warcry. Amazing. This is why I said that this duration tag is so amazing. Of course, it is possible to use Warcry and to not bother with insult, but once again, increasing damage in situation where you cannot hit anything is not the best idea, right? Anyway, interesting change. I would improve the basic value here. I think it's nothing wrong with having 10% here. This skill previously, without any kind of duration, was completely trash. Now it's absolutely useful under the condition you are using a mastered version. cool change after all, I have to say. Alright. This is a trash as it used to be. Oh man, this is okay. It was like like many other skills. This one got a duration tag with 2 and 3 turns in basic and mastered version respectively. Jesus Christ, what a difficult word.
respectively.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So, yeah, but I believe that the bonus is a bit too low. I mean, on the other side, melee resistance is so strong statistic. So okay, combat savvy. I believe it can be used. It makes sense only to use a mastered version. Basic version, this 5% of bonus is simply too low. I believe that vanilla combat saving is very similar. Yes, it's 5 and 10, just like here. We have a duration tag, which is very cool once again. You cannot, you need to use this while not engaged. Pardon me, not stackable. So everything is the same as it was, aside duration. Basic version useless, 5% of melee resistance at the cost of 3 blue pills. No, no thanks. But mastered version, 10% lasting 3 turns. Actually, this one is strong. This one is strong. If you combine this with things like the Night Heretics, I am always forgetting the skill. Let's get our first Wolf Priest without any cost. We'll see. We'll take a closer look to the spells later on. Right now, I want to see Winter's Trail. Okay. The debuff for 5 for 210. Wow! Again, 3 turns. However, I feel it was nerfed by Paranoia. Come on. Wasn't the value higher? Winter's Chill? Yeah, it was 10 and 20. Now it got nerfed from 5 and to 5 and to 10. So previously it was 10 here and 20 here in the mastered version. Now it's halved, which I don't know if I like. Once again, the basic effect is too low to be worth to consider a use. Mastered effect is okish. We have a duration, of course, so I don't know if it was needed to nerf this value. The cost is the same as it was. I really don't know what to think about this. Anyway, combat savvy with this, let's say both masters, that's plus 20 extra melee resistance. Because this one works like a melee resistance, or kinda melee resistance. The effect is the same, melee resistance, and this one reduce chance to hit for your opponent. So this is like plus 20 to melee resistance for 3 turns. If you get even oh man, I need to see this. I want to see Let's make a short break in here with our mercenaries. I
Gaze
want to
upon this
see.
blighted place, my brother. Has such abomination ever been visited upon Sigmar's glorious empire before?
Yeah, whatever, my friend.
Well, can I understand?
I want to see one of the most overpowered characters in this game and how Paranoia dealt with this. We will get back to mercenaries. Okay, this was never an interesting choice, so I'm not going to spend much time here. Shield of Faith. Alias increases magic resistance by 15 and well, very small difference between basic and mastered value of magic resistance from 15 to 20. Not a big difference, I have to say. 2 turns, 3 turns. Ooh, man. 3 turns. It previously was 2 turns long. 3 turns. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Let's see how was it looking in vanilla. Vanilla. Shield of Faith 1525. Yes, so Paranoia nerfed this value, but it's still strong. AoE lasting 3 turns. Actually, because of one more turn of duration, it's a buff to the skill. And basic version is still very variable. So yeah, this is I don't even care about this one. Who would bother? Duration 3 turns. Our beloved armor of righteousness. We love so much to play against witch hunters using this spell, and it's going to last even more. This is probably the very exceptional time when I disagree with Paranoia. I know that this is the pattern. This is the idea of increasing skill and spell effect duration up to 3 turns in the mastered version, but seriously, this is such a strong skill. Let's compare it with vanilla one. Yeah, I thought something is wrong. Okay, I thought so. Okay, so we have a nerf and a buff here, and I have to move back everything I said a moment ago. Paranoia nerfed these values. I wasn't sure, so I wanted to check. So this was 10, previously this was 20 in the mastered version. And now it has 5 and 10. Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. It gives psychology effect. It has increased duration in a mastered version, and everyone is using a mastered version. I think it's perfectly fine. It should be enough. In vanilla, the skill is broke as fuck. Broken as fuck. In here, I think Paranoia brought it to the par with other skills or spells. Okay, so this is a change I really like. I've never cared about this one. Uh, it was never a good idea. I don't know why to build this guy as a offensive caster. This is an important skill. Let's see. 15 meters, 30 meters, reduces offensive points by 1, and melee hit chance. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's check it in the pyrospace. Okay, 5 to 15 for 1 turn. Well, actually, it hasn't changed. I thought that this was a higher value, but obviously I was wrong. So yeah, basic version is still having a duration of 1 turn. Mastered version has a duration of 2 turns. This spell was really strong. It was always a strong spell. I don't see any reason to change this. Also, it's not a buff like armor righteousness, so this is why it doesn't have duration increase to up to 3 turns. Okay, so this is unchanged, which I like. This spell was perfect in the previous game version, in the vanilla game version. What? Uh, what? Oh man. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check out something really fast.
In
I
the name
don't.
of Most Holy Sigma, I greet you, sister.
Mhm.
Your service and dedication to our order has
Yes.
long been in my mind. As High Matron,
Yes, I do, Berta. Um. Well, actually, we don't need to buy a purifier. Let's see, healing circle. Oh, okay. So it wasn't a bug. It's how it works. Holy crap! Amazing change. Amazing change. Amazing change. I love it. Man, this in early. I mean, you cannot get this spell early on. It requires. Well, it requires an intelligence. So 1 point here, and you can get. You can get a basic version which gives you AoE healing worth of 100 points. Oh, wow. Duration 99 turn. I wonder if it had a duration tag on Pyrospace. Wow. That's some healing, man. I want to play Sisters again. Holy moly. This is big one. Healing circle. Yeah, it has duration 0 turn. I got a little bit worried because who knows, perhaps one day I will play a 99 turn long game. Or I will play a 100 turns long game. I'm not even sure if it's possible. How many turns? 20 probably the most. Yeah. I mean, it's like playing 2-3 days without taking any sleep. So okay, so this is probably okay. I wonder what happens if durations, if you play the 100 turn, and what happens if duration, if it stops working. It's like you are losing this health or whatever. Yeah, but this is only a very theoretical question. In practice, doesn't matter. In practice, it means that you have amazing AoE healing worth of 100 wounds. With mastered version, with this cost, you can heal entire characters, entire warband. So in 1 turn, you can bring your guy from 15 HP to 400 HP. Of course, if he even can have so much HP, usually level 10 guys or girls have around 300, sometimes little above, sometimes little below. Holy moly! Okay, since we are already here, let's check other of the spells. No, I'm not even going to look at this. Prevent spellcasting, increase to three turn. So yeah, added. I mean, it lasts longer right now. Not a big change. Let's see the comment. This okay. Damage is the same as it used to be previously, but there it is. One offensive point more. It costs right now 3 offensive points to cast a comet. So without any kind of without adrenaline rush or without how it was called, meditation, no, introspection, without introspection and basic adrenaline rush, you can cast simply 9 fuck me, you can cast only 3 comets when previously you were able to cast 4 comets with 4 red pills, with the cost of 4 red pills, and even 5 comets if you had basic adrenaline rush. I mean, who would ever be so crazy to cast 5 comets in turn with a single character? But just saying, it was possible. Even 6 comets was possible. 7 comets. This is a good change. This is a good change. So damage is unchanged, untouched, but cost is higher. Range 20 meters. Is it a nerf? Yes. So and very big nerf to comets actually. We have higher cost and lower range. It's, well, I don't know if it's not a mistake. In here it says range 30 meters. Is it a mistake or does it work like it's supposed to work? So basic version of the spells has a range of 30 meters and a mastered version of the spell has 20 meters. So it increases the damage, it increases divine wrath, and as it should, because it was always working like this, but it decreases a range. Okay, sorry for doing this. I know it might look a bit chaotic. As I said, it's a first look. I wasn't prepared for this, so whatever I found here is always a surprise for me. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew that Paranoia made some buffs lasting longer, and that's all what I knew before. Okay, let's see this dude. Because we have 2 very powerful damaging spells in this game. One of them is Comet, and second one is Lightning Strike. Let's see if it changed. Okay, this is bullshit. So this is a bullshit. So Comets got nerfed, and this one is pretty fine. Okay, range 20 meters. Okay, so it has smaller range. Let me check quickly on the pyrospace. I don't remember the values of the lightning strike. Okay, so according to Pyro, it's 1621, 3242. Yeah, so what we have here, there is in vanilla game, the difference between comets and lightning strikes was lightning strike had higher damage, per one cast. However, it costed 3 red pills. So, a comet had lower damage, but a warlock was able to cast 3 lightning strikes, while at the same time a Machgar or a Parifier were able to cast comets 4 times in turn. Which means that at the end, damage output of these characters was very similar. However, sisters had much higher risk of getting cursed. So from point of view, so sisters were in the worst situation actually, because this guy could use 2 lightning strike without any penalty, and the last 3rd lightning strike had a very low chance to trigger a curse. Comet caster usually can cast 2 comets without any fear that he will get smited or something. 3rd comet is it's a little bit risky, but 4th comet, this is a big risk. 4th comet is always a danger, a big danger. So on paper, damage output was similar, but sisters always had to take a higher risk if they wanted to keep together with Warlock in terms of damage output per turn. And now Paranoia decided to change cost of the comet, so sisters can cast 3 comets per turn, same as Warlock, but because comets have lower damage per cast, so sisters are this is a big and heavy nerf to sisters, which I hate. I mean, I don't mind the change of the comets by itself, but you need to keep an eye on the entire game. If you are changing comets, you must change lightning strike. You decide Paranoia. If you have decided to increase offensive points, the cost of comets, you should do the same with lightning strike. Perhaps this should be 4 red pills. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is nerfing one faction without no reason. Comets were strong mostly on paper. Like I said, 4th comets was always a huge risk. Many comet casters imploded in past tournaments, in Chronicles, in BBL. I am experienced. I consider myself to be experienced sisters player. Comets are not so. It's not an easy mod. Lightning strike is a fucking easy mod. Look at this. Concentration allows you to cast lightning strike at maximum 95 chance to cast. You can use it 3 times. You can have, well, okay, you cannot have without book. Okay, but still, you can use it 3 times, and you still have 2 blue pills to move. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes not. But on paper, if you are well positioned, you can use this 3 times, and then you can cast a lightning strike at maximum chance maximum chance of casting, 3 times. The highest damaging spell in the game right now. This is bullshit. This concentration skill together with this damaging spell makes Warlock a very strong character. It used to be a very strong character, unless played by a Slayer, but that's an exception. In general, this is a very strong guy, and now he is even stronger because actually not much changed to him, but because of the changes to the comets. Holy moly! I am quite sad about this. Phew. I'm not okay. I've lost all my enthusiasm. Come on, you cannot nerf sisters like this. What's wrong with you, man? Oh shit. Alright, where were we? Battle plan? No, I mean, we have finished leadership skills. Okay, it was combat savvy that brought us into the spells. I will make a separate video about spells. I know this one is a bit chaotic, but once again, this is my first contact with this mod. This is my very first impression, and I wanted you guys to watch this like that. Okay, what? What? Alright, so obviously Paranoia decided to change melee resistance with ranged resistance. Previously it was ranged resistance. So the kidney strike used to reduce melee resistance. Now it's reducing ranged resistance. And where you can reduce in that case where you can reduce melee resistance in here with exploit positioning. The problem is you can use it while not engaged. So if you are already in combat, it can be really hard to use. Debuffs are quite nice. It can be useful if you meet a very tanky character. You can combine this with basic and mastered insult, so you can very heavily lower opponents' melee resistance. And actually, since basic version lasts 2 turns, mastered version is not needed here because it's only 15%. Here is 10%. If it was 5, I would say that basic version is not war, but with 10, the basic version is much better. This one is not cost efficient in my opinion. Getting 1 extra turn and only 5 extra melee resistance debuff, it's not worth. But basic version, why not? Can be used. I can see this in PvP because melee resistance is really a big problem in PvP. Study single enemy. Well, it should say single ally, I believe. Okay, we have okay, but yes, you are not increasing your enemies dodge or parry, you are increasing your allies dodge and parry. It's single target, so and mastered version is only, I mean only. It does the mastered version doesn't have increased range, so this is a trash actually. This is what it used to be. It was always a good skill, so it's still a good skill. Same goes to this one. Nothing changed here, at least from what I can see. Resistance 15 and 30. I think this changed. I think it used to be lower. Let's just make a quick look. Resistance 10 and 20. Yeah, so Paranoia decided to increase these values, which is good. Uh, I have one resistance in my one of my PvP warbands, so I'm not using this skill too often, and I haven't seen much of use of this skill in PvP as well. So perhaps this is a good change. Mm, how long does it? Oh, it's resistance, so uh, fuck me. It lasts only one turn. In both cases, basic and mastered, which is fine. I think increasing a raw value is absolutely enough. Staggering blow reduces initiative. Jesus Christ. He touched everything, almost everything. Okay, 10 and 20. I believe it was higher value before. I think it was. Well, let's simply check it out. Yes, 10 and 30. So mastered version got decreased from 30 to 20 of initiative debuff. But once again, we have a duration tag. Basic one lasts 2 turns, and it should say 2 turns in here, I think. Mastered version lasts 3 turns. This can be still confusing. You need to read um, carefully skill description. Ooh, scout advice. Increase range resistance by 15 while not engaged. Well, it's not a trash, but it has too little to offer. So nope. Stimulus, we have already discussed. Stimulus, it used to be a good skill now because of coordination. I think it shouldn't be used anymore. Coordination is better in every aspect. Depth stance, very high. The stance that ends the card decreases initiative. This is quite interesting thing. Yes, it can be useful. Sometimes you want to decrease your initiative. Sometimes, for example, you want to go after your impressive and you want to use order on him, but you have a very high initiative because you are squishy and you are starting in the scattered scenario. So you want to go first to not get zerged by your opponents. So yes, you start with high initiative and you want to lower it later on. Can be useful. I mean, it doesn't kick ass, but it's fine. Alright, so not increase duration because it's a stance, so it lasts only one turn. I mean, it lasts only during opponent's turn when we are in the stance. It doesn't work, of course, when we have to move this character. Anyway, I believe Paranoia. I mean, even if Paranoia increases these values, it doesn't matter. This is still a trash skill. Okay, guys, I will stop here, and I think I will end. There are so many changes that I feel I am not able to cover all of them in the one shot. So you can expect more videos to come. I will take a small break and soon I will play a first PvP with the warband made here in this mode. Okay, guys, thank you for watching and see you later.